all the other battlegrounds too.
Well, what do you
Exactly.
know? Raven bans Spider Queen. Well done. And the ban on Battlefield of Eternity coming out here for BlossoM, which has actually historically been Raven's best map as well. And they've also shown some really cool drafts there, like the Tyrande Valera. So it's going to be Cursed Hollow for Game 1. Both StarCraft Battlegrounds available. And I have a feeling we'll at least be going to Braxis in this series.
Or one of the two of the StarCraft. Maybe Warhead Junction, as we saw one game. Coming out from BlossoM also. But it is going to be Cursed Hollow first game. And where Raven has been trying to follow up with the rotations, but BlossoM, for now, how I see it, I think they have the upper hand with the draft and the team fight. Let's see what kind of team comp that Raven is thinking of. And let's, as we will go into draft very soon.
We will. Tell your friends HGC Korea is on. I know it's very early for a lot of you guys who are watching, so thank you so much for tuning in and being part of this, even for number 7 versus number 8. Every team in HGC is equally as valuable to us as they are to you, and of course our second match will be the better one. But we are getting into this draft now. It's time. Cursed Hollow for game number 1. Let's see what kind of crazy draft this best of 5 will lead us towards. As mentioned, it is impossible for either of these teams to escape the Crucible. So they are just playing right now for pride.
That's right.
So anything could happen. We see the Insta-Zeratul ban here for Raven.
It's something we have been seeing a lot yesterday, and hot topic of Korea right now is Nazebo. And on this map especially was Abathur. We saw some 3 or 4 picks of Abathur just within the last 2 days on this map. So let's see if Abathur comes out with any team comp, or even Illidan coming into the game.
Would be pretty crazy. Falstad comes in first. You see the Leeming Tyrael coming out now. The Dahaka for Global. So both teams having access to Global so far. Also taking the more conservative approach to that with the Malfurion in the second rotation. For bans, not an easy ban here. Might want to ban out a melee that could pair well with Tyrael. Don't think you're really looking at the Artanis on this map. Go for the Karzim. He's a melee, not the same melee I was talking about, but just delaying, or not delaying, depleting the amount of healers available as the Diablo ban comes out. That's not historically Judy's most picked warrior. In fact, just to verify his exact pick rate of the hero, it's his 3rd. But usually not on this map, though.
And usually not on this map, too. There's the Vala Zarya coming out from BlossoM. They will have some shields and sustain coming in for Vala with Malfurion's root. And they do have some CCs available, too.
Feels like it's going to be the Glass Cannon Vala here. Not with an Ariel, sadly. But Malfurion could still be good for this. Problem is, will that be enough against the burst damage that can come out from Leeming and then the Falstad's consistent damage? It's really going to be about Zarya. And the early game for BlossoM, they can split push with Dahaka and their level 1 Zarya push super early too. And we'll see what Raven brings to the table now that they've seen this. They're probably going to have to jump down into some unusual supports. It's going to be the Rhaegar. Probably going to see Wolf run at level 1, and they take Muradin away from BlossoM. This could just be an Arthas last pick. They don't have to, because they already have kind of the 2 sub-tanks with Dahaka and Zarya. Could be a secondary damage.
Yeah, for sure. If they want some more siege potentials, I think. But because Vala, Malf, and Zarya basically has to be together all the time, I don't think Siege is... Sergeant Hammer is the best option. Maybe try to go for another solo lane, as Dahaka will likely to be on the solo lane, either top or bottom.
Well,
even I think ETC is a very good option.
Gonna be ETC.
With all the CCs available and the fast roaming possible to get some picks off, like picking off Falstad or Rhaegar or Leeming would be the best result for them.
Well, quick draft here to start us off for game number 1. Both teams having the global. BlossoM going more all in on their DPS, but Raven having the more well-rounded comp for the map. They also have a lot of tools for boss control on this map that's so boss dependent, especially once you see the first 2 tributes taken. If Raven can take the 2 and contest boss, they should be in good position to start this game off with a lead. But let's go into game number 1, find out which one of these 2 teams is going to take it. In blue, it is Team Raven. Joju on the Rhaegar, Hamlin on Fall Side, NMX on Liming, Diong on Burden, and HG2 on Tyrael.
And in red, Team BlossoM. Scarlet on Malfurion, Tutu on Bala, Wiz on Dehaka, Judy on ETC, and Nochet on his famous Zarya.
Gets to play his favorite hero.
Yes, he does.
He's famed for it. Very funny guy, Nochet. Very friendly. He messages me every time I log in and he's on. I like chatting with that guy. But season marksman. And we're actually going to see the totem coming out here for Rhaegar.
Oh, this is a great grab.
Ouch.
It was a 4v1 and Wiz takes a kill. What a grab there.
That should not have happened, to put it lightly. Nochet's going to look for some extra pressure. This is what I was talking about with the split soak from the Dahaka. As you can see, he's going to go up now to top because there's nothing more for him to soak mid. Zarya will be able to do more damage than the mid that he's no longer defending, especially with the kill on the Falstad. So now basically BlossoM is getting 3 times as much value as what Raven is doing with the global control. And the pick on Falstad specifically, of all heroes to pick, he would have been the best one. And look at how much they've done. They've already killed the bot fort completely. This fort is untouched. Wiz has got an extra soak top and is going to start pushing on the cannon tower shortly. This is a great setup for BlossoM to start things off. A little sad we see the totem instead of the wolf run coming out for Rhaegar, because I feel like even with the nerf to that talent, all the movement abilities, this is back pre-BlizzCon, the mount changes. It's still a very powerful level 1 talent to use on this map to roam around. Rhaegar also has decent wave clear, can be used as kind of an emergency clearing tactic, kind of. I'm stumbling on my words here, but you know, he can clear things when he needs to. He can also help with the merc camps.
Yeah. Also, Totem just when they try to pick on target, it's just the range of the slow is just so much bigger. It's easier to get a pick with all this, to land on the CCs with Burden and also Tyrael coming in later on with Holy Ground.
I think it's mostly about, again, to isolate Vala, to make sure they can get the pick with CC, not just damage with both the protection of Zarya and Malfurion. Nochet's actually building into the auto attack at level 1 instead of the grenade, which is fine. They don't have a ton of poke. They do have Moonfire. That's, you know, obviously going to be something that you would naturally build into as the grenade because of the poke that you do to deny tributes, delay them.
That's right. We see a rotation onto the middle, the swap between ETC and the trio with Vala, Zarya, and Malfurion, because they got all the fort at the bottom. They don't even need to stay there anymore. They would actually put themselves into danger if they step above that fort line. So they're pushing, as they got pressured into middle lane, they were pushing a little bit more. Now they have all the control over the tribute already because they took down that fort from the beginning.
Exactly. And so Raven just gives this up. Not even going to contest. Looks like they want to take their bruiser cap right now. Actually, just Rhaegar dealing with that. As Wiz pulls in 1 Siege Giant to eliminate some of this pressure. Diong taking a lot of damage. This is auto attack follow too with this build. Look at this pressure on the bot. Not just for the tribute, but for even pushing the lane out with these Siege Giants. It's so much easier to do this and then keep your movements hidden. Judy is not even backing down. This is going to go all the way to the key wall because Joju was missing this entire time. Soloing the bruiser camp. He got it, but at the cost of being missing for so long. No heals for Diong here either, as he was absent. And that is going to be another pick here for BlossoM. This game may just snowball out of Raven's hands.
It was supposed to be a setup for Raven, but at the time Zarya just had the a lot of energy. Also, shielding made it max energy when the flight came in and Wiz came in at the right time, knowing that Falstad was gone.
Yeah, look at how much damage No Chat's able to just chunk into these cannon towers. As finally H82, who was also absent because he was dealing with that push, is finally able to return. It's going to be a positive tribute for BlossoM. It's red side. It will be able to get curse point from this and then try to parlay that into a boss. No one is even nearby to contest. They're all going to go for a gank on,
So look at
you
Raven.
guessed it, they're going to go for the gank onto Dahaka, which will never work.
So look how safe Wiz is at, right behind the wall, which is already gone, but nearby the fort, so it doesn't get caught anyhow.
I think right now BlossoM is confused. Like, where is Raven? They don't have vision of them, and they're like, they're not at boss. That's kind of weird. And we're gonna see Hamlin come in. Insta cleanse here by Scarlet. Well done. So they get away without taking any damage. No Chat's gonna get the free camp. And I'm just gonna see ETC rotate back mid. It's gonna be a, you know, an unfortunate circumstance for BlossoM because they wanted to boss there, but they played it safe because they didn't have vision of Raven, and nobody died as a result.
I have a feeling that what we just saw on Vala, one Stormbolt and nothing else really following up, because they are lacking CC, I think we're going to see that over and over again. I think a cleanse would actually put Vala into a safe position, as there are basically no other CCs to follow up after that Stormbolt. They really have to burst everything in that 1 second that she is stunned, unless, or otherwise, I don't think they can take out Vala at all.
It's going to be tough. HA2 is way overstepped his boundaries here, even with No Chat having basically no energy here. And we actually see call drops again at level 7 on Vala. It's something we've been seeing a little bit more, especially out of Dudu. Just wanted to point that out. Hamlin's going to come from behind here, a little bit of a flank. Stormbolt does not connect on the Dudu once more. They're just really committing. There's a great power slide in. The cleanse is so late. And that is a dead Muradin. And this is going to be a curse here for Team BlossoM. They have heroics. There's no way to contest anymore. And ETC is going to hold his heroic because he doesn't need to pick right now. And they even wanted to look for the pick onto Ham when they were diving all the way in past this inactive fort.
Lacking in CC, knowing that wait. Yeah, Muradin really had to go all the way in, and even had to pick Pierce to get that extra CC possible.
Yeah, they switched roles back, by the way. We didn't talk about that too much, but
they always do that.
Usually not a good thing when your Falstad and your ETC player swap in every game. But this is going to be a pushed keep. Judy, with the constant push that was always bought, that he was actually doing, is going to get some damage done here. He could use stage side to escape if we needed to. HA2 is just solo top to try to relieve some of the pressure. Actually gets his hearth canceled by a minion. I hope he realized. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, he did. Just watching the mini-map.
There's a box, then a two-man Mosh, Gust to cancel, but that's not going to be enough. There's that expulsion zone, so Muradin cannot go out at all. There's a very good Ancestral, but can he make it out? No, he does not at the end.
Okay, the nice burrow there from Wiz. It's going to be HA2 forced to use a Sanctification to survive. There's no chase. Dudu with the insta-dodge. They save the keep for now. Both bosses are available. BlossoM looks like they want to retreat back and take the Siege Giant camp to add some extra pressure. Scarlet has no mana, so this is understandable. Dudu is actually going to go check the boss. That's always a risky proposition as a Vala player.
That's a weird rotation coming out from Vala for 1 second. Maybe they just want to finish the fort. I believe fort is somewhat damaged.
Just barely.
Yeah, of course, sending a Dehaka would make better sense to keep Dehaka on top and join the team fight later on. And Vala.
Yeah, I mean, now Raven gets this boss for free because Vala wasn't here, and even though Judy saw this, she's coming down so slowly. They have Gust and they have, you know, Tyrael. They don't have Sank actually. Expulsion Zone has landed. No way. They just walk in and take it with the Expulsion Zone. No Sanctification here. They didn't even have Dudu. The Gust was used way too early. And that's going to be a 2 down for Raven and the boss. As BlossoM is now in a massive lead. I mean, I just assumed that BlossoM was not going to contest here, but they had the Expulsion Zone, and Raven just did not hold on to the point.
I think using the Gust pretty early made the difference. I'm pretty sure BlossoM was trying to get it, but not trying all the way in if they actually... Because Graven really had a good chance. Bala needed to join the team fight, looks like. Let's hold on to that thought. Deyoung's gonna get caught, even silenced, but Ancestral connects.
Yeah, nice Ancestral again to save Deyoung. He's being super aggressive. An expulsion zone going down. No Chat is gonna build up the energy. Look at that energy coming up, and look at how much damage he can do now. He has no fear. Total trust in Scarlet to keep him healed, and this is gonna be the wipe that ends the game. 10 kills to 0.
Dude is not scared of anything. Vala is staying on top. The front line, he is alone, and he goes all the way in, taking out target. And this toss is cancelled by this face melt, and that's gonna be game.
Had No Chat not intentionally, you have to argue intentionally died there, that would have been a perfect game. 10 kills to 0, no forts destroyed. No Chat did die in the end, so I guess technically it's not a perfect game anymore, but they crushed it. And Deyoung really getting caught several times there, being way too aggressive. And I've said